Hey, good afternoon, everybody. I'm really excited about this interview. I have Brett Kirkland, and Brett Kirkland is going to be the community leader for Convene Christians. So how you doing today, Brett?
I'm doing good, Matthew. Thank
All right, doing good. So just to jump into it, this is one community that I am extremely excited about. Having just got my master's degree in Christian life coaching from Liberty, I believe Convene Christians can be, one of the biggest communities that we have. And when you're talking about convene, just the word, it's, a place and a community where we can bring Christians together. So Brett, first off, so this is really about you. I would tell us a little bit about yourself and where you live, what do you do, and, a little bit about your story.
All right. Well, I live in just outside of Jacksonville, Florida, and got an accounting degree out of high school at Troy University in Troy, Alabama, and set my career towards accounting and then realized, hey, I'm a little bit too outgoing to be an accountant. So about 7 years in, I started changing things up and wound up leading companies and being the CEO of a large nonprofit in South Georgia. And then got called into full-time vocational ministry. Okay. And served at a church there in Albany, a large church in Albany, and became a certified biblical counselor. And so I did the vocational ministry, and then the past 5 or 6 years, moved over into marketplace ministries designed to advance the gospel in and through the workplace.
Okay, that's wonderful. So what does that actually mean? Like, so you work with different people in the workplace?
Initially I started out working with a chaplain organization that placed chaplains in workplaces as an employee benefit. Now I've shifted over the past almost a year. I work strictly with Christian CEOs to help them live integrated lives under the lordship of Christ, and then see their work as ministry. It's a gift from God. They're business owners because of the grace of God. And next to their family, their next most important mission field is the company that they are stewarding. So I work with Christian CEOs to help them see that and then do it well.
Yeah, absolutely. That's just a wonderful, wonderful thing. As leaders, we all need to have Christ in our lives. And so to be able to go out and work with people and teach them and work with them on their leadership and, bring that into their businesses, that's really, really great. So tell us a little bit about your family.
Married 25 years in January to Carol, and we have 2 beautiful daughters, Kayla, who just turned 23 earlier this year, and Courtney, who just turned 20 this summer. Courtney is in the workforce, and Kayla is finishing up her senior year at Kennesaw State there outside of Atlanta.
Yeah, so I know you feel, we've had these conversations before, but just the joy and being a parent is everything, and it's just wonderful having kids and, watching them grow and all that. That's so right. Let's jump in and talk about Convene Christians a little bit. And so we have a good friend that brought us together. He's your good friend, and he's a great friend of mine, Brett Ulander, who's in charge of Convene Military. But why did Convene Christians, why did it pique your interest when he first told you about
it? Well, Brett Ulander and I, we met through a home group through our church. And so we met in a convene type of setting. We convened in somebody's home. And so when he mentioned it to me, the idea and the concept, it appealed to me because, Americans are so mobile, really across the world. People are so mobile nowadays. And we don't have to be face-to-face to convene anymore, to get together. And as Christians, I believe we need to be getting together and celebrating what we have in common more frequently than what we're currently doing. And so I just saw Convene Christians as an avenue to make that happen.
Yeah, absolutely. And I appreciate you saying that, because like I said, this community is one of the, to me, one of the most important. And I think that if we can find a way to bring Christians together more often, and not just face to face, but, through the application, through sharing our stories and really sharing our testimonies, what brought us to be a Christian. And there's so many good stories out there, but there's also a lot of people who need to be brought to Christ, and who need to be, basically to be able to share their experiences and maybe see how other Christians do it.
That's right.
So that, I think that is a wonderful thing. So we were just talking a little bit prior to getting on the air here, and you had some thoughts of really kind of bringing Christians together. And can you share those with us? Because I thought you really very eloquently put it together.
I don't think our intent here is to replace the local church. There is extreme value. Christ created the local church. There's ultimate value in gathering together on a regular basis with other believers, and in worship and prayer and giving and fellowship, and discipleship, and all those kind of things. But outside of that, I just think Convene Christians is a great way to share our testimonies with one another. You mentioned, pointing others to faith in Christ, towards faith in Christ. And this is an avenue we can do that. There are so many thousands upon thousands of stories out there of just radically transformed lives by the gospel message. And, to have a place where those are captured and shared, and other people are encouraged by them, is amazing. So from an individual coming to Convene Christians, we hope that it'll be a place of encouragement, a place where you don't feel alone in your struggles, a place that in your victories you have people that can celebrate with you. And then I know, like our Bible study group, we have announcements that we cover regularly and try to communicate regularly, but it's kind of tough through email and text. And also having a group feature like we have in Convene could be really beneficial to a Bible study or Sunday school group, or even if you're on a team or a committee at your church, bringing that together so that those things can be posted on a central place where everybody has access to. I just think there's much value in that, and it just improved communication.
Yeah, so I'm glad you said that, because we were talking about the group features, and I do think with the ability to have groups and groups to have subgroups, I just think that, churches, organizations, different people can come in and get groups and just bring people together, bring Christians together, all over the country. So, I think that is just a wonderful thing that, Convene brings about. Right. So, well, we won't make this too long, but I just want to ask you, as we really, we're doing this next week as our big really push and our big kickoff. So what would you like to see happen as we move forward into next week and then into the next few years, with Convene Christians?
Well, I'd love for groups to get on board and start using it as a tool to communicate better. Because I think then as groups are made up of individuals, then those individuals would benefit from the experiences and have a place where they can share their experiences as well. Yeah. So it'll help us individually, it'll help us as a group. And I think as more and more groups come on board, the exposure will get greater, and more people will see the value of it and want to take part in it.
Yeah, absolutely. So I appreciate you saying that. So, again, we kick off next week, and, you and I are both going to be talking to a lot of people and inviting people to come on. And, I think this community and just the word convene to bring Christians together, which in today's time, if we're being honest, is a little trying. Sometimes that, you don't feel like you can go out and talk and be as open as you want to. And I would like to see that change. I would like to see that, we have this place for Christians to come together. And that's, we talk about what is Convene Communities. Convene Communities is a different communities of like-minded individuals. So let's bring Christians together. Let's bring Christians together to celebrate our faith and celebrate being, Christians. But again, use it through the group features and bring people together.
Right. And as believers, we have differences too.
Yeah.
So it's a place where we can wrestle with some of those differences and not be divided like, our country is.
Yeah.
We don't need to be divided in the faith, but to share these differences with one another and learn from one another, to grow, and not be divided.
Yeah, I think that's one, and I'll say this, I think that's one of the key things about the app and the experiences is that, when you go in, it's not like other social media platforms. So when I go in and I share a testimony, or I share a Bible verse, or whatever it is that I'm sharing, and then I go into and I answer the questions. That's one of the wonderful things about this platform is that I'm answering the questions and I'm answering them how I would answer them. And one of the things when you're talking about people is the way that I might do things might not be the same way that you might do things, but doesn't mean that they're wrong. And the great point about Convene is that, and the way the experience is set up is I can go in and read your answer anonymously because you would be answering anonymously. And I might learn and say, think, oh, wow, I should do that because I've never thought about doing it that way. So it's not like other social media where you put an answer and I'm replying to you and arguing with you. Right. I think that's one of the beautiful things is we're all able to express within Convene our thoughts and our, how we would do things and learn from each other.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right. So Brett, I couldn't be more excited than to have you as part of Convene. I really mean that. And I hope that people will reach out to both myself and to you as we grow this community. And just, let's celebrate, our faith and, grow it.
Sounds good, Matthew. Hey, thank you for the opportunity
All right.
to share with you for a while.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you very much.